Welcome back to the Girls That Get It podcast with your hosts, Ken and Han. We're back for take 2, episode 14. What else is new? Riverside, if you're listening, please fix yourself because every time we have problems, and at this point, I'm over it. Anyway, we're back. And I was saying earlier that every single time we come back from to record a new podcast, it feels like it's been weeks since we've recorded because lately we've had a couple pre-recording situations just because our scheduling. So it always feels like after those weeks that we haven't talked in forever.
Yeah, which I kind of like because if anything does happen, it helps us be 2 weeks prepped in advance.
Yeah.
And it also lets us focus on our content that we do individually because if we had to edit one of each every week, nope, absolutely not. At least right now with our schedules.
And nobody got time for that.
Then just what you were saying, when we do come back, I'm like, they don't know I'm a new person. It's been half a month. They don't know me.
I know. I'm forgetting I forget anything we said in the last one because I'm that was a lifetime ago. But we're back, and today we're just going to be talking about a little life update. Kenna obviously moved, and I went to Seattle lately, so stay tuned to hear all about that. But as always, we first are going to do our highs and lows. And I will go first. So I feel like a broken record because this is the point that we got to. But my low, and I was saying this earlier, it's when I was talking to Kenna before we started recording, I was like, I need to think of a low. What's my low? And she was like, that you're sad. And I'm like, oh, is it obvious? Which nothing's wrong.
No, it's
and
not that obvious.
I'm not sad and nothing's wrong, but nothing's right, It's one of those scenarios that I feel like we've all been through before.
Yeah, by things not being right makes it wrong.
Exactly, and unfortunately it's my time to be in the not right but not wrong phase.
Yeah.
So it's just life. Nothing, like I said, nothing specific, nothing's wrong. I'm just kind of existing and I'm like, oh, hi. I'm here, but what for what?
She's
what am
just
I
going
doing?
through the motions.
Right. So
She's
that's
not
probably my
living.
Yeah, exactly. So that's probably my low. And my high is
we could do a whole episode on that, low key. Just
on
an
what?
idea.
Just existing.
Yeah, and just
True.
the phenomena that we all go through.
That's a good idea.
We've coined it
actually.
that term for us, so
yeah,
we can even explain. I'm gonna write that one down.
We should write it down. That's good. My high is that I went to Seattle last week, and it was honestly the best time ever. I had a blast. It was amazing. I will get into more details about that in a little bit, but that would be my high. So I will turn the tables over to you for your highs and lows.
Okay, so I think my low is that on my first day of work, I got 2 blisters from my shoes.
Oh.
I know that's not a great low, but I'm currently dealing with it. They are getting close to healed, so I'm thankful. But with my new job, I wear high heels pretty much every day. And I didn't like the shoes I wore on the first day, but they were very specific about wanting us to wear all black, and they were the most appropriate all black shoes I had. And clearly everyone else was not in all black. So I learned quickly that I could wear other colors, and I was like, I got blisters for nothing. Nothing. But yeah, so that's kind of my low, just because when your feet hurt, it is so hard not to think about it.
It's true, especially when you're on your feet. It's all you can think about. I feel that.
And it's this huge building that you walk through pretty much all day, just going to different meetings, going to different workstations, whatever, which is really fun because it's nice that you're not in the same area consistently. But yeah, my feet hurt a little bit.
I'm sorry.
It also sucks because there's not time for me to let them heal until the weekend because I just got to go back and do it the next day.
Right.
So I have planned I still think I've looked really good every single day.
She said I am the hottest person in this office in all of Denver, so don't come for me.
Sure. But I definitely have planned my outfits a little bit around what shoes hurt the least.
Yeah.
So that's the low.
I'm waiting for the outfit of the week work edition.
I had Jordan message me today, and she was like, I listened to the pod, and she sent me a whole list of content ideas, and that was one of them. And the people have spoken.
The people want it.
People have spoken.
So I better be seeing that in my subscription box in the next month.
It will. Okay. I will
I feel
probably
like-
do it more than once because
That's good. That's what we want.
I'll do like the staples that I started with that I think are like classic, and that's why I do look so good. I do look great in my office. Okay.
Well, that's good.
But there's definitely like more fun stuff that I want. Okay, so anyway, my high is that I did move and I did start my job and I absolutely love it. It is amazing, you guys. Like, I'll obviously get into it more later, but this might be a broken record, but I did my senior thesis on the importance of company culture and just like the workplace interviewing process, all that stuff. And I learned in that process that the average American spends 1/3 of their life working. So it has always, not only because of that fact, but just in general, like when you love what you do, it's not truly work. And I just know that's how I'm going to feel going into work every single day here. And I think originally when I graduated college, I thought, okay, like I'll get a job, be there a couple years and move on. I genuinely could be here the rest of my life. I don't know.
Wow, that's a bold claim. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first.
You did, but I love it. And at least right now, I don't see myself not being content in this company.
That's really good. That's good.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't last forever, it's good that you feel that way now, for sure.
Yeah. I see. I'm speechless. I get too excited thinking about it.
That's really exciting. I just don't even want to talk. I just want you to tell me everything because I've been waiting for
I know
this
I
update.
haven't said much because I have been a busy bee.
Oh, I know.
Like when I'll share it with all you guys, because Hannah's going to go first on her life update. It will also be Hannah's first time hearing most of this as well.
I know. I've been trying to hold back and not text you every day. Like, ma'am, can you please like send me a novel about everything that's been going on in the last week? Which obviously you've been too busy for that, which I understand. Like you're a working woman now, so you have priorities.
She said you're different now.
No, you're not. Well, no, you're not. But
yeah, okay.
I just am really excited to hear about it. But I guess I'll.
Yes, tell us your update. She went to Seattle. Give us all the tea, bestie. All of it. Don't leave anything out.
She said
share with the class.
Every single drop of it.
Share with the class. Give a little sprinkle of spice here, spice there.
So this is what happened. What happened was
what you know.
Is that I was like, okay, what am I about to do now that I'm graduated? Like, I need a job, obviously. I definitely want to leave North Carolina, which is where I live now and which is where me and Kenna both grew up. And honestly, back in like January and even a little bit before January, like last fall, my uncle was telling my mom every single day, he was like, Amy, like Hannah needs to come to Seattle and work in Seattle and it'll be the best because my uncle lives in Seattle. He has lived in Seattle for the last like 30 years and he has a career there and he loves it. And so he's been trying to like, he knew that I was graduating soon and he's been trying to convince me to come out there forever. But I kind of was just like, like, okay, sure. Like whatever. Because I wasn't really thinking about like my future plans that seriously. And then January rolled around and he was like, my company just posted this application. You should apply and just see what happens. Like, I hadn't applied to any jobs at all. I hadn't like written a professional cover letter. I hadn't really finished my resume. And so I was like, screw it. Let's just apply just for fun to see what happens. And obviously I did not get that. It was the first and only job I applied for at the time. And my resume was ugly and it is a lot better now. And it's fixed and it's cute and all good. But I kind of started to think about it after that. And I was like, like would Seattle be an option for me? Would I like the jobs that I could get out there? Would I like the city? And my uncle was pushing really hard for me to come visit and talk to these people and get an idea of what I could do and get an idea of just it all. And so I was like, you know what? Let me book a plane ticket and go visit. Honestly, I didn't think it was going to work out for a minute because all the plane tickets were like $800 to $1,000. But I got really lucky and I like finessed 2 separate like one-way tickets. I used some like flight points that I had or whatever, and it ended up being a lot cheaper. Oh, from last summer from Miami because I couldn't go. And I needed to use
the
credit.
girls trip. Yeah, you did. I'm glad you used it, to be honest.
Me too, because I was about to be really depressed if that went to waste. But it didn't. It didn't. So I got out there for a pretty good price, and it was so much fun. I met with a few 3 different people about work, jobs, job opportunities, what they do, the companies that they work for. And a lot of it was them giving me advice about like how to enter the workforce, giving me advice on interviewing, telling me about their companies and telling me about positions that they might have open at certain times and if I could see myself fitting in there. And a lot of them were just really nice and just really helpful and like giving me wisdom, which I really appreciated because I haven't really talked to any people before them in like a professional post-grad setting. So it was really cool and like helpful to kind of like experience that and be able to talk to these people who my uncle knew and who they were like so nice and willing to talk to me who they don't even know. Excuse me. But it was just a really good time. And yeah, I really enjoyed the people I talked to. I really enjoyed the work that they were telling me about and the things that they do and the values that they have and that their companies have. It like actually got me excited about the potential possibility of me working for a company like that in general, not that it will or is going to be those exact companies, but there's several companies in Seattle that they're all communications companies. So that was kind of like the reason I went. And I also just went kind of for fun too, because I haven't seen my uncle in a long time. And I honestly like did not grow up seeing that side of my family very often. So it was nice to see him and catch up. And now that like I'm an adult, it's more like you can get along with those like those older relatives in your life that when you're 10 years old, it's more of just like, hey, I'm here, tee hee hee. Like you don't really connect or have like meaningful conversations. And honestly, like the first night that I got there, I flew in on a Wednesday night. I got in at like 9:30, 10-ish. We stayed up till like 1:30 talking in his kitchen.
Girl, your sleep schedule. I got a question.
I know, which is suspicious because 1:30 in Seattle would be 4:30 here.
That's a kind of time. That's a kind of.
And I was actually falling asleep by the end of like our conversation, but we just sat there for like 3 hours just talking about life, and it was like we're family, but like we aren't really close because, like I said, I didn't grow up spending a lot of time with him, but it was like we'd known each other forever, and it was just like we got along really well. So that was cool, and yeah,
oh my gosh,
kind of just as far as like what I did, in the beginning, I did a lot of just like hanging out with my uncle and my cousin, and we hung out around the house. We cooked some dinner. We hung out with a couple of my uncle's friends. My uncle has the best backyard in the entire world. Like I'm genuinely obsessed and I want to live in his backyard. So I spend a lot of time outside in his backyard. And the weather, let me just say the weather was perfect. Like it was mid 60s, which is like maybe June is too late for it to be that cold still. And maybe people want summer, but like I love a good mid 60, especially coming from 90 degrees in North Carolina. It was a really nice change. And I love to be able to go outside and put on a cozy sweatshirt and not be sweating, you know? It's like, it's the best. It really is. So that's suspicious.
That is weird.
So yeah, and then towards the end of the trip, I kind of did a lot of the more touristy things.
Yes, tell us about
which
it.
was fun and different because I had been to Seattle. I've been to Seattle once before, but it was in the middle of COVID, so I didn't really get to experience the full thing. But I went into the Space Needle, which was really cool. If you don't know what the Space Needle is, you're living under a rock. But it's basically just this large
Eiffel Tower
building that is kind of just a tourist attraction, and you can go up and you can go outside at the very top and you have like a whole entire view of Seattle. And then there's like a new part to it where there's like a rotating glass floor on like a level below, and it's really cool. You can get cute pics, good views, good times. So I went up there and that was fun. Went to the famous Pike Place Market.
Ooh.
I did that before, but it was dead. It was like nobody was there. And so this time it was a lot more lively and there was a lot more vendors out there and it was really cool. And also Seattle, like right outside of the Pike Place Market is where the first ever Starbucks
Girly
is, which I knew, but like the line, I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know that people like would wait in line like that.
That's why one of their coffee roasts is called Pike Palace, I believe. I'm a non-coffee drinker, so I don't know.
I think it's Pike Place, but same thing. But yeah, I was shook about the like that line had to have been an hour and a half long. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Which like, okay, yes, it's historic and we love a good Starbucks, but it can't taste any better than Starbucks 3 blocks away, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go early when there wasn't a line because I'm not spending my day like that. But I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
True. It was cool, and they have very cool like espresso machines, and it's like a lot more it's a lot more like.
Is it similar to like the roastery in New York that's like a couple different floors? Have you seen that or no?
I have kind of, but it's more like vintage looking.
Okay.
Like
I
feel
that vibe.
Yeah, they want it to feel older.
Yeah, they didn't like change the architecture or anything.
Right. So it's cool. And then I went around downtown and I guess every big city is like this, but I guess I just didn't know because I hadn't been. But Seattle downtown is like basically like New York. There's different neighborhoods and different places. Every neighborhood has its own little thing and people. Yeah. And you know, and I went and explored a couple different of those neighborhoods and went out to a couple bars in different areas.
Did you have a favorite neighborhood? Because I was going to ask you this.
There was one called Capitol Hill that...
Good.
Do you know?
I just think every city has a Capitol Hill, and that's usually a good spot. Because there's a Capitol Hill here in Denver, and I'm like, okay, tracks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, it was cool. I liked that probably the most because it was the most lively.
Okay.
And there was a lot of young people.
Big fan of the action.
And that's what I know. Like I want to put me in, coach. Like put me in the action. I'm ready to see it, live it, experience it, do it.
There we go.
I liked Capitol Hill because action. And then there's another little area called Belltown. That's like not far from Capitol Hill, but it's closer to the water. And it's like there's more action. I mean, there's still action, not as much as Capitol Hill, but it's like a little bit. It's like young. It's like old young. You know, it's like late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, serious.
Instead of like
relationship people. That's how they're affording the rent. Okay.
Right, but the area is nice. The area is nice. It's kind of quieter and it's near the water, and you can still walk to a lot of things. So yeah, those were just a couple of places. I took the water taxi, which is kind of fun.
Hey,
there's no water taxi out here, so like I don't know what that is, but
it's like
I took
a ferry
it.
almost.
It is. It is basically, yeah. That was cool. They have like there's a little beach town like in Seattle called Alki Beach, and it honestly reminds me of home a little bit because they have all the cute little restaurants and there's like a main strip like along the water, and it is kind of a cute vibe. And
shoot, maybe I need to go to Seattle.
I know they got $1 million houses on that street because I was just like shocked by like how beautiful the houses were. But yeah, that's pretty much the overview. I really had a good time, and honestly, like, and I don't know. It was kind of the first time I felt like I could belong somewhere, and like I genuinely felt happy when I was there. And like, sure, it was a short vacation full of fun activities, so it's gonna be a blast regardless. But I feel like I could potentially really see myself living there and being happy and belonging and getting along and fitting in and all that jazz. So it was cool. And yeah, I also loved it because they have mountains, they have beaches, they have city. It's like low-key everything right there.
Yeah.
Which was really nice.
That's why I've always been drawn to it and do wish I got to spend a summer there. But I'm really happy you got to go, and potentially you could be there because then I could come visit and I don't have to pay those prices.
I know, true.
And just reach the reward.
Yeah.
That'll be so
true.
Fun. But I'm glad it was a great time and you got to just do all the fun things. And it was a nice little getaway for you.
It was.
Summer post grad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do. Live it up. Do the things.
I know, exactly. It was a lot of fun, and it was a good experience, and it definitely gave me an idea of what it might be like to live there. So 10 out of 10, good time all around. And now that I talked for probably 15 minutes even after I said I wasn't going to.
She's like, I'm going to be real quick.
Well, because I feel like, I don't know. I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you talk about Denver, and I already know I'm going to have a million questions, so let's just get right into it. Give the people what they want.
Okay. As you were talking, I was trying to make a mental list of things I wanted to say, and there's stuff that I don't want to say on the podcast that I definitely have to tell you later.
Oh, gosh.
About work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess the last time we recorded, I was still in Wilmington, and I hadn't moved to Denver. So I have been vlogging the whole thing. So if you want to see that or like more like real-time updates, you can watch the vlogs. But as a recap, I drove a U-Haul with my dad from Wilmington, North Carolina to Denver, Colorado. It was a good
crazy.
2 days of 12 hours of driving. God bless my dad. Truly my hero, because
For real. Shout
my
out.
booty sat in the passenger seat the whole time, just snacking away, making conversation on the tickety talk, you know, doing whatever. But it was a great time with my dad. I'm definitely glad I got to spend like those last days. We had some funny conversations. Well, if you've never driven through Kansas, it's just long, flat, hot, boring. I even got sunburnt because in the U-Haul, you know how in your car on the windshield there's that blue thing at the top? There wasn't that, and that prevents like the UV rays from coming in. And I was crispy.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious that you like the thought of getting burned because you're sitting in a car for so long is like
Well, I
Funny.
didn't notice it until we got to the hotel, and then I looked in the bathroom mirror and I was like,
you're like,
this?
that's suspicious. I was not at the beach.
I didn't have makeup on, I didn't have anything on, so I started touching my face and I was like, did I get sunburnt?
That's
crazy.
crazy.
But I brought up Kansas because my dad was like, we should move the country's capital to Kansas. It'd be a lot easier to defend. There's a lot of open space. There's like,
oh my gosh.
and he was just going in, and I don't think he was serious, but it was just funny.
That's
he was
hilarious.
because then you could have more planes and more. And he was like, why do we cram everyone in little Washington D.C.? And I was like, so what are you gonna do? Move the museums? Move all the historic stuff? He's like, why
Just
not?
Pick it up and drop it off.
Yeah. And I was like, so what's gonna happen with the old stuff? He's like, we will still go to visit. And I'm like,
oh my gosh, stop. That's so funny. Mike for president, honestly.
Yeah. And then he was like, I don't know which one. He was like, do you think the president goes fishing? And I was like, nah, they can't let him on a boat by himself. Like, that's such an easy target.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I think they do. He's like, I think they put squatter boats around. And we were just talking about how, like, the president goes golfing or, like, goes.
Just, like, living life. Yeah.
So it was funny.
That's hilarious. We love him.
But then I did get to Denver. I did move in. My move-in, you guys. You don't even know.
Wasn't it a shit show?
Yeah.
That's, like, the only thing I do know. Yeah.
So I was scheduled to move in Sunday, June 12th. I had confirmed 5 times with 3 different people that it was okay for me to move in on a Sunday. And even the Wednesday before I moved in, that was the day my lease technically started, I was on the phone with someone from the leasing office making sure they got all my paperwork, my first month's rent, all that stuff. Because if I didn't, my like rates would go up. So I was like, I just want to make sure you got this. And I was like, okay, great. I will see you Sunday. That's still great. And the reason why this matters is because my parents took a lot of time out of their schedule to fly across the country. It was not an easy trip. It was not easy to pack everything up. Like, I specifically rushed to get everything done and could have done more if we weren't, I don't know. So we did the whole thing. And their office does not open until 12 on Sundays. So I was like, okay, let's get there. Was there at like 11:45. And I was like, they're probably not in there. No worries. So then 12 o'clock hits. No one comes and opens the doors. And I was like, it's Sunday, maybe 5-10 minutes late.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, 15, 30 minutes goes by. No one's there. And at this point, I have called, I have emailed, I have reached out to all the contacts that I have, and nothing. And at this point, people are like starting to get out and like walk their dog, walk around the building. Other people even try to get into the office. They're like, are you? And I'm like, yeah, girl, I'm waiting too. Like, do you know someone like that we can call? Is there like an emergency number? Is there maintenance? And they're like, no. I was like, great. So then we even go, there's a bunch of apartment complexes around my apartment complex. So we even went into those offices and we're like, do you have a phone number that we don't have? Like, who can we contact? Like, we're scheduled to move in today. And they were only open from 12 to 4. And so
that's such a small window.
Yeah. And so it's around 2. My mom and I decide to go get Shake Shack, bring it back. My dad waits because I'm like, as soon as we leave, they're going to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then still come back. No one's there. It's like 3:30, 3:45, and my dad's like, well, let's just wait till 4 so we can say we were here the whole time and like, let him have it tomorrow. I get a call from a block number, and I'm like, I don't know why, but someone's telling me to answer this. And it wasn't
Sure
like
enough.
spam or like a random Colorado. No, it said no caller ID. And I was like, you star 67 this. I know you did.
Yeah.
So I answer, and it's someone I haven't spoken to before, but she is like the manager of the office, and she was like, I just saw your email. I am so sorry.
Bessie, where you been at for the last 3 hours?
Yeah, she was like, we were supposed to coordinate with all of our move-ins. That move-ins aren't happening today. Like, we lost a staff member this week, which to me made it sound like someone died.
I was about to say, wait, did somebody die?
Which
Or
I
did they
don't
let
think so.
someone off?
I think someone quit, and they phrased it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so then she was like, just come by tomorrow. And I was like, well, listen here.
That's not going to work, ma'am.
I was like, I'm here with my parents. We drove all the way from North Carolina. I had spoken to several people in your office over the past month and even confirmed Wednesday that this was okay. I understand if I can't fill out my paperwork today, but is there any way someone can come at least give me my keys so that we can physically move in? And I was like, we have to pay extra because now we have to keep the U-Haul an extra day. My parents potentially could have to move their flights, which cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, which wasn't really true because they were staying an extra day. But I was like,
just exaggerate a little. She doesn't need to know.
Milk it. I'm paying a lot of money in rent. You need to be here, especially when I had confirmed that many times. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes. And so then she gives me a little discount on next month's rent, and she feels so bad.
That's nice.
And then the maintenance guy comes, and the maintenance guy is awesome, so I'm homies with him now, which is always a good thing to have. And he was like, oh my gosh, I walked by earlier. I was walking my dog. I didn't know who you were. Like, I wish I would have said something. And I was like, to be honest, I didn't know you were the maintenance guy. So like, you were just doing your thing on your Sunday. So I appreciate you coming to let me in, because apparently most people live in the building.
Did they work there?
Yeah. So I was like, you're telling me
what? They were up all in there the whole time
for a good 4 hours, and no one checks the email.
You've been watching all the employees walk their dogs by you for the last 3 hours.
And I was like, how many of them walked by and was like, what are these two crazy women doing outside the office?
Honestly. A lot, probably.
And it was funny because I would say about 5 to 6 residents came down during that time, tried to get in the office, and then couldn't, and they were like, they're supposed to be open today. So it wasn't just me that didn't know.
Right.
And I will say I had gotten emails about like them doing renovations to the parking deck. So like they had open communication. They just clearly didn't communicate this.
Yeah.
So I did get moved in. It was a success. It was great. That went smoothly. I am still in the process of unpacking, organizing, buying furniture, all the things, and it will take a while because I know everyone's up my booty about when's the room tour.
I need the apartment tour.
When's the apartment tour? What's the aesthetic? Where's the mood boards? I'm like, you guys, I need
the mood board and the apartment tour tomorrow. And if that doesn't happen,
if you saw what it looked like now, you'd be disappointed.
I probably would be. I don't want to see it. Don't show me.
That's why I haven't shown anyone. My grandma was like, you need to send me pics even if it's messy. And I'm like, Grandma, this isn't even messy. This is
next level.
Unacceptable.
Like, yeah.
So there was that. My dad, we moved in on a Sunday. The following day, I went with my parents and they transferred my car to my name in the title. We also went to the DMV to get, I had to pay taxes, registration, get new license plates. I still need to get my Colorado, driver's license, which you have to go to a different DMV to do.
Jeez, how many DMVs they got?
Paperwork done that day.
Yeah.
Are you still there? Because you froze.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, just checking. And then just did some unpacking, stuff like that. Tuesday rolls around. My dad leaves to go home Tuesday because he was a little tired because he did the whole journey out here. Mom stays. We do some unpacking, go do some grocery shopping, do some errands, do some shopping. Lots of stuff.
Things.
We went to a Rockies game, which I'm so excited about because it took me 4 years to get to a Yankees game in New York.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
First 2 days, made it to a game.
She already did it. That's exciting. I saw that and I was like, I'm kind of jealous. It looked fun.
And I just got to say, even if you don't like baseball, you guys should be going to these Major League Baseball games because tickets are sometimes under $10 and if not definitely under $20. Mm-hmm. Just go. I got Dippin' Dots, big Dippin' Dots fan.
I love Dippin' Dots. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I think.
Wait, what flavor Dippin' Dots?
The rainbow sherbet.
Oh God, I gotta go. I gotta go. I should have known you were gonna say
they didn't have chocolate.
That's fine. I'll take cookie dough. You know what's crazy?
Cookie dough that's my second choice.
I used to be. I feel like you're gonna like.
Were you cookies and cream?
No, I used to be a banana split.
Oh my gosh, you and Colton, you nasties. That's gross. That's disrespectful.
I used to, and sometimes I get crazy and mix banana split with cookie dough.
The woman is too stunned to speak. Oh,
literally, now I just go for cookie dough and chocolate, or like one or the other.
Cookie dough is good. Cookie dough is good. But the rainbow ice, I just can't be beat. And I think I've decided, I'll have to see what my future husband thinks, but I think I want that at my wedding.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's
right?
a good one.
I'll get like
there.
a mini cake.
I will be there.
She's like,
actually.
I wasn't coming before, but now I'm there.
Exactly.
That would be such a good dessert.
It would. That would be fire.
I'll still have like a little cake for us to cut or something.
Also, realistically, guests don't eat the wedding cake.
No.
You need a Dippin' Dot stand. Do it. I'm here for it. Do it.
No
if you don't do it, I will.
No one else. Yeah. That was original.
That was
honestly,
original.
I'm not a big, like, I do like weddings, but I haven't thought anything about mine. No idea. Don't plan it. I'm not that girly. But this.
Nothing matters except the Dippin' Dots.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I hope my husband's ready.
Oh, God. That's good. That's good.
Also very price effective, I'm sure, compared to
yeah, true.
Okay, so that was good. And then Wednesday, my mom left, and she got a little emotional. She was like, "My firstborn," and I was like, "Mom, we're twins." Like,
technically, you were first.
Yes, I was first, and it is a big deal. And so I do appreciate both of them for coming and all that they do, and all that they did, and all that they will do. All the stuff.
Yeah.
And it really set in when she left that this is a long ways away from home. And I kind of love it. Not in like a mean way that I don't want to see them, but it's something I've never done before. And I'm definitely I'm all about the adventure. I'm here to tackle it.
Yeah.
So then really the next couple days were just me getting things unboxed. And so the theme is that I am just doing it all. Like, I'm running on empty. I am saying yes to everything when I should be focusing on unpacking, saying no. But I'm just here to live, do it all, conquer. Anyway, and I've decided
that's how you should do it.
That's why I am me, because ever since the time I was a kid, I have made sure I do it all, and I don't say no, and I don't let anyone down, and I'm going to continue to until I pass away.
Go, bestie. Okay, I see you.
Yes, because I do think that's one of like the kind of charms. Like, how many times do I say no? Not very often.
Well, no, I'm just kidding.
She's like, this one time you let me down.
No.
But as far as like the plans, if I get invited to something and I don't already have plans, I will go.
Yeah.
And pretty much with just about anyone. And sometimes I'll even have plans and go to both.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
You said I can be in two places at once.
Exactly. I do the impossible.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then Sunday night rolls around. And oh wait, I gotta talk about Friday. Okay, so anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
My mom leaves Wednesday. I unpack Thursday, Friday, and Friday I kind of have a headache. But if you listen to our last podcast, I mentioned that I had plans to meet up with friends of friends of friends as I went out there. I have never met any of these people in my life. They are all completely new to me. I do not know them. A mutual friend of mine has a friend that has a sister here in Denver. That's how I got invited to this party. And they were like, a bunch of people just moved to Denver and we invited them all. Like, you should come out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'll be there. And I was a little nervous to go, but I was like, what's the big deal? You're great. People are going to love you. Go have a good time.
Right.
And if not, I was going to be alone on a Friday night, which is also fine, but just had to go live. So I went, and guys, I made friends.
Yay.
It was so good. People, they were also a little older than me as well. They were all about 27 to in their mid 30s. But when I told them I was 23, they were like, "You're what? You're
They
where?"
didn't believe you. Yeah.
And they also were really, really impressed by where I was working, because I talked to them a lot about that.
Yeah.
Because all of them were either travel nurses or pilots, so they have like kind of
such
a funky
an interesting
schedule.
group. Yeah.
I know. And there was a couple other like random people that do other things. But I was just so proud of myself. I felt really good coming home from it. It made me confident. I also left the party at like 12:30, and they were getting ready to go to the bars, which one, I didn't get the memo we were going out. I thought that was a party.
Oh, wow.
But I drove, so I didn't drink that much. And then 2, I know when you're in the higher altitude, alcohol like affects you a lot faster. So I purposely, like, when I say I had one drink, I had one, and I sipped on it for like a good 6 hours because I wanted to be social, did want like a little alcohol, but definitely didn't need to get drunk.
Right.
because I also was like, they're older than me. If I get sloppy, that's going to look ridiculous.
Yeah, it's going to be embarrassing. Yeah.
And usually I am the girl that stays to the end of the night. Like, I want to be the last one there. I want to hang out. I want to see when people go home so I'm not missing anything. Like, I like to stay. But one, I was exhausted. And two, I want to try to learn when to make the good exit. Sometimes staying too long, like the vibes have gone down, bad things happen, and like it's
gotta leave them wanting more.
Yeah, leave them wanting more, and that's exactly what I did. I was like, I'm so proud of myself. Like I did that.
That's good.
So it was a great night, and they were all really impressed that I had lived in New York, and I didn't realize how well. Like when I say I'm well traveled, I mean within the United States. A lot of people were from the South. A bunch of people were from Atlanta. One girl was from South Carolina. A couple girls had spent a good amount of time in Chapel Hill and Durham and that whole area. So it was nice to talk about home, and then people started talking about like Auburn and Atlanta and just places that I've been recently. So I was like, girl, I know.
Yeah.
So it was good stuff like that. It kind of put me in a good mood. And then for some reason, Saturday was just we won't talk about Saturday. It was just a day.
It
was just a day.
That's funny. Yeah.
And then Sunday rolls around and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the last day.
Last day of freedom.
Last day of freedom, because Monday was my first day of work. And I didn't have a crisis, but I kind of realized like I'll never get more than 2 days off again unless I take it as vacation days. Which
True.
Life has gotten a lot better about the schedule. I'll update you on that.
Okay.
But anyway, Monday rolls around and I get up at like 6:30 because I got to be at work at like
early.
8:30.
Wow.
I'm doing my thing. Getting stuff together. I wanted to make sure I had enough time, and I also wanted to be like extra early on my first day because I was like,
right.
My dad is
gotta
very
make a good
big.
impression.
Yeah, my dad's like, you get one first impression. You look the best. You do the best. You smile through the pain, and you get over it.
True.
Because my parents went and walked through the store before I did, but they were like, you can't go in, like, if they see you or ask questions and blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah.
So I just hung out in the area around it. So it was great. And then remind me when I talk to you about the part I don't want to say on the podcast. It starts first thing, first impression, first day.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to share with everyone.
The things that you
it's just
can
not
say.
Professional.
Don't.
I just fell in love. Like, it was so good. My HR supervisor greeted me and she's like, you look so cute. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you. I'm in a pantsuit. Thank you.
She said, I'm in a pantsuit. I'm a real woman now.
Yeah, and everyone was like, still now is so kind. Too kind. I didn't know you could be kinder than me. They're kinder than me.
That's good.
And so I want to read a few of, like, every day the team starts with going over a value of the companies, which there's 4, but then, which those are good, and maybe I'll talk about them a different time, but specifically their beliefs really resonated with me about just like how they view life, the company, and things like that. And for anyone that doesn't know, I'm working for an interior design company. It is a corporate company. That's really all I'm going to say on it. I did major and go to school in design, and it was a journey to get this job, but I'm so thankful to be here. But kind of like what the inside of this is, and that I'm hoping to share, not only for people that are just curious about my life, is what potentially a corporate job looks like. You do kind of have to drink the Kool-Aid and do corporate things, but also you can have fun with it. And their number one value, which I won't read, is just people. They're like, our people are our number one assets. And when I was being interviewed, I was like, okay, sure, everyone says this. No, like,
they really mean it.
When they're interviewing you, they're like, if you had to pick a number for yourself, like 1 out of 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, what would you pick? And you pick a number, and they're like, well, we're looking for 11 out of 10. And they think every person they've hired is an 11 out of 10, or you wouldn't get picked.
Well, so you're an 11 out of 10, bestie.
That's right. That's what my boss says. So, excited about that.
That's crazy.
I have a few bosses.
I know, but like just hearing you say my boss, I'm like, wait, who is she?
But it's just that level of professionalism and standards. Like, we all know your girl has high standards, and she's big on
yes.
Like, you set the expectations for the relationships you have in your life: work, personal, romantic, all of the above. And I walked away yesterday and said to myself, you need bigger dreams. And I always have felt throughout high school and even college that I had the biggest dreams in the room, that I had the biggest aspirations, and that I was at least a big to medium-sized fish in a small pond. And it's crazy to say that about New York City, but I really did feel that way. There wasn't anything that I felt like that there was left for me to conquer. But being here, I was like, okay, you can see the end of these dreams. You need to think beyond what you currently have, because there's even more room for growth, more room for better, exceptional, premier design, personality, relationship growth, like all of the above. Like everything is going to change, and it's only going to continue to get higher. And not even because it's a high-end brand, but because their way of life. I think every company is like, oh, I hope your way of life matches ours. No. Like, you will crumble if this doesn't match your life. So I won't read all of them. There's 5, but I'll read a few. The first one is vision is everything. We believe vision leads the leader. It ignites and fuels the fire within. Hold on, I'm out of breath. I need to catch my breath before I read.
She's like, I'm dying. Somebody,
I'm just so passionate.
Let me breathe.
Okay. The first one is vision is everything. We believe vision leads the leader. It ignites and fuels the fire within. Vision is about destroying today's reality to create tomorrow's future. We believe vision is everything.
That's good.
Yeah, and this is good, but what it really inspired me about this one particularly was one of the ladies doing training. She was like, if you don't have a vision for life, whatever, and it might not go according to plan, and it might not be a complete vision, but if you're just walking, twiddling your thumbs, why would you want to be around people like that? Why wouldn't you want someone that's driven and focused and has ambitions and just like puts the time in to think about what a vision is? And I was like, oh my gosh, how many people have I let stay in my life
that are like that?
Yeah, and
that aren't like that. Yeah,
right. I'm like,
yeah,
standards risen. The next one you'll love. The next one is love us or leave us. We believe you do great work, or we believe to do great work, you must do what you love with the people you love. We have no interest in spending our time convincing others to love us. We believe it. We believe in love, so love us or leave us.
That's good. I like that.
And a theme in my life recently I felt like I've had this relatively like masculine bro energy about me, which I'm all about. I'm not changing that, but I do think it has suppressed very like feminine things that I enjoy and that I like and I want to pursue. Like, I don't know, emote. In my personality, I think I've pushed that back some just because I have a lot of guy friends, and I'm tired of doing that. I want to be my true authentic self, and I've always been an all or nothing girly. You're either in or you're out, and to be in my life, I do have standards. You meet them, or I will phase you out. And this was just such an embodiment of that. And I love when they're talking about customers or clients that we're with or design projects. They're like, some people aren't going to like what we do or how we do it, or our expectations, or the process. And that's fine. We are successful enough and strong enough together that if they don't love us, we will ask them to leave.
They can
not
leave,
in a bratty way. And they're like the same thing with our people. If you don't show up and you don't love this, you don't grow to love it, you don't work on loving it, leave us. And we're not saying that in a mean way. We will help you find something that you love, because that's how important it is. And to not only from a corporate and employment.
I'm opening the door really quick because my mom just got home and I know Blue's about to freak out. So continue.
Okay. So to not only like personally deal with that, as far as like your personality and like being supported, love us or leave us with your friends, family, people in your life, but to have a company behind me that on my first day was like, if people don't like you, we want them to leave. And they just like instantly got on the Kenna bandwagon and the Kenna way of life. And they're like, Kenna, you are our company, you are our brand. If people don't like you and treat you negatively within our company, we will get rid of them. I was like, oh my gosh. To have someone ride that hard for you on day one, I'm here for.
Yeah, that's nice. Me acting like I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
No, I did. Just had an intermission, but go ahead, continue.
Yeah. The next one is, this is personal. This is not our job. This is our life. This is
tongue twister.
This is an authentic expression of who we are and what we believe in. Some people say don't take it personal. Those people are not our people. Make no mistake, this is personal.
Dang.
Yeah. Which is so
crazy.
True.
That's cool. Yeah.
Something I talked about a lot in my interview process and they asked me about is, how do you deal with negativity as a designer? Because you can spend months, weeks, years working on a project for a client just for them to rip it down. And I have always been a big believer in like negative feedback only helps you get to a solution faster, and it's a learning process. And at the end of the day, it's not always about what I want. And one of their visions is it's not about who's right, it's about what's right. And as a literally day 4 employee, every day when I'm done with training, they're like, what could we have done better? What did you like? What did you didn't like? And they genuinely take our input into consideration from day 1. And one of their mottos is like, don't take no for an answer. Like, if someone's like, can you ship this internationally? They're like, no, we don't do that. Think, why don't we do this? Why can't we do this? Let's do it. So, like, no's not in my vocabulary.
That's really cool that they actually care, like, that you feel like they actually care about you. Because I know a lot of big companies, it's hard to get that feeling.
Yeah, that's something that me and the girl I'm onboarding with, like, just really appreciate. And then the last one I'll read is fast is as slow as we go. We don't believe in speed limits. We do believe that speed kills the competition. We believe in the rules of the jungle, where the big do not always eat the little, but the fast always eat the slow. And then it says again, fast as slow as we go, which if you know me, you know I love a fast-paced environment. So
yeah, that's like perfect for you. Yeah.
And the founder and CEO of our company truly is a visionary. I haven't been inspired by someone like this in a very, very long time in a professional way. Like, he's thinking so many years ahead, and he's also not afraid to do the crazy, the unheard of, the things that other people have been unsuccessful with. He's like, I'm going to do it, and it's going to be great, and these are our standards.
Yeah.
That attitude.
That's awesome. That's a good way to lead a company.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So all those things, and it's also one thing to go through the interview process and hear all these things rambled off to you, but to see that they live by it every single day is
in
truly
front of your eyes. Yeah.
Unheard of. And does it get a little repetitive? Does it get a little culty? Sure, but I'm here to drink the damn Kool-Aid.
She said, I'm here for it. I love it. This is my new life. Yeah.
I do. And that's why I've already even seen just a shift in my personality. I'm calmer. I'm collected. I like have this, in my opinion, I at least feel like not elevated in a sense above anyone, but I just feel like a weight lifted off my shoulder, and like I stand a little taller. I walk a little prouder just because that part of my life is filled. It's fueled. I'm happy. Like,
I was gonna say, we knew this would happen once you started the next chapter. Now that you have, I'm so happy that it's going so well.
Thank you. I love it. And I know to some people they'll be like, oh my gosh, this girl's she's just riding the wave and she thinks she's really made it. And like, that's fine. It's not for you.
I mean, it's exciting. It's your first job and you are actually happy with it. So that's something to be proud of and something to celebrate and be happy about.
Yeah. And
most people are not lucky enough to have this feeling about their first job. So
yeah. And after going through this, and this is why I encourage everyone, and maybe even why I said what I said earlier, is like, love what you do. Like it.
Yeah.
I never thought, even in the past 9 months, that I would even get a job this good. And seeing now, I'm like, it was worth all the days that I thought I was miserable.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it. And Colorado has been so amazing. Like, I love it. I will say, your girl's skin is crackling off her face.
Why? Because it's dry?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's gotten to the point where my moisture barrier on my skin, it stings because it's cracked when I put on moisturizer.
Oh my gosh, stop.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, stop. That's
and everyone's like, yeah, your skin's gonna get really dry. And I was like, so what happens if I came from the beach where it's the most moist and my skin was dry there? And they're
already
like,
dry.
They're like, you're done. It's
they're
over
like, you're in for a new one.
Yeah. They're like, good luck. Let us know how it goes.
Oh gosh. You need to take like an oil bath every night. Like literally.
I will have to go to the dermatologist. Do you know that TikTok I sent you of the guy's skin peeling off?
Is that going to be you?
I'm so scared it's going to be me.
That won't be you.
But because I think I've gone to the dermatologist in Wilmington several times and they just tell me to put lotion on. And I'm like, you fools.
That's
you
not
think
helpful.
I don't. Anyway, so I potentially would see a dermatologist out here, but I have a feeling if I really keep going and it gets this bad, like today, I'm not sunburnt. My calf, like on my leg, peeling. Just started to peel halfway through the day. I didn't go to work
just
like that.
You're dry.
Yeah. I came home and I was like, oh gosh.
Oh no, bestie, somebody send help. If anybody knows of some nice moisturizer, hit up your girl because she needs it.
Just someone sponsor me because I'm gonna need a whole bucket full, like
literally.
So yeah, that has been the struggle, but everyone has been so kind. They've given me all the recommendations, all the stuff. I love where I live. I love where I work. I'm trying to think of other work related things. Oh, you guys, I love dressing up for work. I'm so
Yeah.
cool. I look like
You're a new lady.
I look like a boss. I look like a MILF. I look like
Hey, if you
all
look
the
good, you
stuff.
feel good, you gonna do
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah, I honestly think I'm hotter. Like,
well, then there's that.
and it
that's
makes
good.
my
Yeah.
post, like the other day, if you saw my outfit, because I went to get drinks with a friend after work, I put together a good outfit and it wasn't work clothes. And I was like, I'm evolving. I'm finally
She said I'm stunting.
yes. I wore that gray dress I wore on my birthday with your leather jacket over it.
Oh yeah.
And then my white platform Converses with like black sunglasses. And I was like, girl,
you're like, who is
good.
she?
It's nothing revolutionary, but it's good.
But it's good. Okay,
Right. For a Tuesday after work, I'll take it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's the main I just love it.
I'm sure you'll do so many more episodes of like in-depth stuff about like different corporate questions, different stuff like that. So if y'all have questions that she didn't answer, ask.
True.
I know we'll talk more about this like in the future too. But
I just wanted to share that because I think it sets the tone of just
what
I've been going through, and
it does, and it was worth the wait. And now I can learn from your experience and realize that it'll come when it's meant to come, and it'll all work out.
Yes. I'm so thankful. I literally thought the other day, and I was like, some days I wish Hannah and I could switch because then I could learn from her.
I know, right? But no, you're the one.
No, there's gonna be. I think you'll have a family before me, and I'll be like, what do you do? I'll be like, what do I do with my kids?
Oh, I could maybe see that. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see what
but
life has in store. Yeah,
there will definitely be a time when you do stuff before me, and I'll be like,
yeah.
help a girl out.
Mm. Oh well, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
And I knew you would thrive, but I'm happy that you are, and
Thank you.
It's everything that you wanted and more.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just beaming. I do need to find a better balance part of it's just settling in, but I have drifted from most of my friends.
Yeah.
Like I just don't talk. I don't have the energy. The last thing, because I do have a work phone, computer, and AirPods, so I'm on technology all day. The last thing I do when I get home is want to respond to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's how we communicate at work. Like, there's like a walkie-talkie app on our phones, and we'll just be like, beep, can you beep? And then we just text and email all the time. So
it's a lot.
Yeah.
But you'll figure it out as time goes.
Yes. Good things are coming, though. Good things.
They are. I'm excited. I need the content. I know you're busy, so
I'm sorry, slacked on the post yesterday.
I know you're busy, so I'm like kind of kidding, but also like I need content.
Oh, yeah. I think Jordan didn't say why she sent that, but I was like, I don't know if she watched the videos. I know she watched the podcast, but I was like,
Didn't post yesterday. Yeah. It's okay. You'll get back into it.
Yeah, that's kind of what's up. I don't have too much to add just because I'm sure there'll be, like we said, more topics about this. Do you want to do any last minute questions or things, or you want to wrap it up? What you feeling?
I feel like we're good because we're almost at an hour, and also like I'm literally about to pee my pants.
Okay, we will go.
And when it was at the 20-minute mark, I was like, oh my god, I have to pee so bad. Like this is gonna. I thought about getting up, and then I was like, no, just suffer through it.
You could have. Okay. Well, anyway, we're gonna wrap this up so you can go pee. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Rate us and give us a 5-star on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. She's at Hannah Ranzulli. I'm at Kenna Casto. Follow us on all the things, and we will see you in an episode soon. Bye.
Bye.
I'll stop it.